maybe after this presentation there will be some questions, because we are going to talk about MicroZeoGen, which is impactful innovation in the pet food nutrition. So far, there is not such of ingredients in the pet food, and this is something what differentiates us from the other companies. So what is MicroZeoGen? Actually, MicroZeoGen is a zeolite called clinoptilolite. But what are zeolites? Zeolites are microporous aluminosilicate minerals which are volcanic origin, and the term of zeolites was originally coined in the 1756 by Swedish mineralogist. You can see the name, Axel Fredrik Cronstedt, who observed that when he put this stone on the heat, yeah, he has seen that from this stone, this stone was evaporated, let's say so. So he called it boiling stone, when you translate it to Greek, then it's zeo means boil, and lithos means stone, so then he called it zeolites. The zeolites are formed where volcanic lava meet the ocean. So this is the zeolite, clinoptilolite. But what is most important about these zeolites? These zeolites are aluminosilicates. There are minerals, and these minerals has a cage structure. What does it mean, cage structure? Cage structure means whatever comes into this cage stays trapped into this cage and goes out from the body. And these minerals are strong ion exchangers as well. So they are exchanging ions. You will see how does it look like. So they are important inorganic cation exchanges. So this cage is negatively charged and attracts cations that come to reside inside the pores, inside the channels, and stay trapped. This cage has also, it's like a magnet, yeah? So everything what comes into this cage stays trapped and removes from the body. So the basic structure of these zeolites is biologically neutral. This is example of the cage. So for example, heavy metals come into this cage, stay trapped, and removes from the body. This is ion exchanging capacity. But not only heavy metals, also the mycotoxins, the bacterial toxins, the radioactive products, everything stay there, trapped and removed from the body. And this is the main benefits of the zeolites. Of course, this exchange is reversible, so allowing for more adsorption. So, and it is used also in medicine, because some solutions can be put into these zeolites and transfer it to the distant part of the body. So this process, as I said, is exploited and applied in medicine, farm animal feed, and other types of research. These sieving properties of zeolites will be utilized also in near future for the environmental and healthcare, because there are a lot of research about the zeolites, ongoing research in the molecular biology and in the other industries. So these zeolites reversibly bind small molecules such as oxygen and nitric oxide. They have also this metal enzyme mimicry, and they have immunomodulatory activity. This is very, very important when we will talk about the health benefits of the zeolites. Don't be afraid, because zeolites are already used in the food industry. So for example, beer is stabilized with some type of zeolites. The alcoholization of the beer is done with the help of one type of zeolites. Zeolites are also included in the formulation of toothpaste. There are 200 types of zeolites. And when we talk of zeolites, somebody will say, okay, zeolites is fine, but zeolites are toxic. Not all of them are toxic. So we are going to talk about the clinoptilolite. This is non-toxic zeolite, which is already used in farm animal feed, which is used also in human medicine. So this zeolite, clinoptilolite, we are using also for our Nature's Protection pet food. So what is clinoptilolite? It is aluminum silicate, which has some other cations like sodium, potassium, magnesium, and it is applicable for human use. So what are the effects of dietary inclusions of clinoptilolites? How it started, anyway? It started a long time ago, where they used this zeolite as a litter in the pig farms in Cuba. And they saw in these pig farms that those animals who are raised on zeolite bedding, they are very well progressing, they have very good meat quality, they have no diarrhea, they have no health problems, and they started to search why is this happening. And finally they found out that these pigs were eating these zeolites, so that was the benefits of these zeolites. No diarrhea, a very good food conversion ratio, better immune system. So the one of the benefits of the zeolites is also toxin removal effect. So the clinoptilolite incorporated into the diet can reduce the effect of aflatoxins because it strongly absorbs the aflatoxin and zearalenone. So mineral absorption based on natural zeolites and bentonite may be used in animal diets in order to prevent the poisoning caused by mycotoxins, and it's already used. So clinoptilolite incorporated into diet and 1.5 to 2 and 5% was evaluated for ability to reduce the effects of aflatoxin on broiler chickens. And if you want to have more information, you can get it from our expert team. So what is ion exchanging? As I said, the heavy metals and cesium, for example, and ammonia comes into this cage, stay trapped, and removes from the body, as well as mycotoxins. So they have very, very strong ion exchanging capacity for heavy metals and mycotoxins. Another way of using, and why it is used, these zeolites, is radioprotection. So it was also used in the Chernobyl catastrophe, where they managed to reduce 50% of radioactivity in Neva River just by putting zeolites there. Heavy metals and organopoisoning. So the low resorption rate from the gastrointestinal tract, weaker clinical sign of intoxication, longer lifespan for the onset of specific therapy are the facts that creates conditions for inclusion of natural zeolites in the arsenal of prevention and therapy of organophosphate poisoning. Bone formation. Why the zeolites, why the clinoptilolite is good for bone formation? Because it is aluminum silicate. And silicon in trace amounts enhance the bone formation. We will talk about this in details a little bit later. So zeolites have therapeutic utility in osteoporotic individuals because of its ability to stimulate bone formation. So it increases the proliferation, differentiation, and transforming the growth factor B producing in normal adult human osteoblast-like cells in vitro. So actually it stimulates the bone cells it stimulates production of bone cells. Effects on gastrointestinal disorders. What are the effects of gastrointestinal disorders of clinoptilolite? So 10% as a dietary supplement for swine and poultry showed that animals generally grew faster and the number and severity of intestinal diseases were decreased. So that's why in 1997 there was antidiuretic drug for humans introduced in the worldwide market based only on clinoptilolite. So clinoptilolite can also absorb the cholera toxin and Escherichia coli enterotoxins. You know that Escherichia coli is not a problem as the bacteria, but the toxins of Escherichia coli are the problem. So these zeolites easily absorb these toxins and remove it from the body. So what are the effects of on gastrointestinal orders? Lower resorption from the gastrointestinal tract, weaker clinical sign of intoxication, and also we can have a longer specific therapy for gastrointestinal disorders. One of the best properties of zeolites, of clinoptilolites, especially micronized zeolites, which is called MicroZeoGen, is that it has immunomodulatory effect, non-specific immune response. So clinoptilolite cause local inflammation at the place of application that attract the peritoneal macrophages. So activated macrophages produce tumor necrosis factor alpha that together with the other stimulants stimulates splenic T cells. So we have increased number of T cells and B cells. Clinoptilolite acts the same way after per-os administration, affecting the intestinal macrophages. Clinoptilolite, micronized MicroZeoGen has also effects on diabetes. So there are potential use in treatment of diabetes. There are a lot of research done already that proves that. So we have just now to find a way how we will make it to distribute it to the clients. So it is well known that administration of silica, part of the clinoptilolites, prevents almost completely the onset of spontaneous diabetic in rats. And administration of silica particles prevents B-cell destruction in non-obese mice given cyclophosphoramide, so it was induced diabetes mellitus. Now, last but not least, what are the effects of finely grounded clinoptilolite called MicroZeoGen on tumor growth? So we found out, and the research proved that it could serve as a new adjuvant in the cancer therapy. So it doesn't treat cancer, don't get me wrong, but it could serve as a new adjuvant. So it helps in the treatment of tumor growth. There is also published paper in the Journal of Molecular Medicine. You can also have it if on request, where there was, in Croatia, 22 dogs were treated with micronized zeolite clinoptilolite, either by giving it per os, either by put it on the local application to skin cancers. So we found out that effectively reduced the tumor formation and growth. So the range of effects on tumor growth are diverse, ranging from negative anti-tumor response to normalization of biochemical parameters, prolongation of lifespan, and decrease in tumor size. So, and the best results in animal models were observed in the treatment of skin cancer in dogs, suggested that absorption of some active components is responsible for clinoptilolite activity. It is, let's say, direct contact action. So as I said, out of these 22 dogs suffering from various kinds of spontaneous tumors and treated with clinoptilolite, micronized one, 14 responded to therapy. In example, the tumor disappeared completely or the tumor size was significantly reduced. 3 of these dogs had prostate tumors. 1 of these was studied via ultrasound and found to also have a prostate cyst. The dog was quiet, without appetite, and lethargic prior to treatment. So when conventional therapies did not work, the owners asked, okay, give my dog everything what can help. So we started to give them micronized clinoptilolite, call it MicroZeoGen. After just 2 days of treatment, the dog became active. On the 3rd day, it began to eat normally. And the 4th day, the dog urinated normally. On the day 10, the cyst and the tumor were reduced in size. And after 1 month, they had disappeared completely. Although the prostate became only insignificantly smaller, the dog showed no sign of illness. So all of this is not just a story. It's published in a serious magazine in the Journal of Molecular Biology, and it can be given to you on your request as well. So for the dogs, they didn't react on therapy, and who has a later stage on the tumor. So when giving this micronized clinoptilolite, they responded in the positive way. So after about 7 days, they displayed a general behavioral improvement that lasted even after the therapy was discontinued. The same was observed also in hematologic parameters, so these parameters went down. There are rumors that the zeolites are toxic, because when you want to manipulate, you say, okay, the zeolites are toxic, why should we give something toxic to animals? Now we are talking about the clinoptilolite, as I said, the source of zeolite and the type of zeolite that is already used in the human medicine, in farm animals production. So we were researching about the toxicology of the zeolites. So, and the no toxic effects that were observed in the study. So this physical status of examined animals showed no evidence of harmful reaction during the studies. So the clinoptilolite is very well suited for the medical application because of large pore space, high resistance to extreme temperature, and chemically neutral framework. Now this was about the zeolites, but our product has MicroZeoGen. What is MicroZeoGen? This is dynamically micronized zeolite. Why it is important? It is very important to have a small particle size of the zeolites if we want to have immunomodulatory effect, because this immunomodulatory effect is also responsible for use this micronized zeolite as adjuvant in anti-cancer therapy and to boost the immune system. But we can get these microparticles, because the particles of MicroZeoGen are in range from 200 nanometers to 5 microns. We can have it in two ways. One way is milled, so they are grinded to the powder. It is usually take place at the mine, when the zeolite is mining, and it is cheap to create the powder. But what is going on when you create the powder? First, you cannot mill it to that kind of small particles, but then also when you mill it, it is dangerous that you will destruct the cage structure of the zeolites and to decrease also the ion exchange capacity. So that's why we have the special equipment which allows us to do the micronization on the large scale, but also to keep intact the cage structure and even to increase the ion exchange capacity of the micronized zeolite, MicroZeoGen. So the micronization is the only way to make powder zeolites and maintain the benefits of the cage structure. So it is expensive, and when we face the choice of milling and micronization, we choose micronization because it gives more benefits. And this is the part also of the patent pending technology for these products. Dynamic micronization technology, how does it work? So we have two special discs with the blades. We put the zeolites between, they are rotating in the contra direction. So we put it between these blades, and when these blades actually increase the speed of the zeolite particles, and then these particles are colliding to each other, and then they're breaking to small particles. It is some kind like in a fusion reaction. Yeah? So it is cost-effective production process and gives us also increase the benefits of the zeolites. So because we have also the small particles, we have increased mesoporosity, so we have more of these pores, better cages, and we have also the larger absorption capacity. Now, we were talking about that we have a lot of scientific proofs of that, and as an expert panel we can provide you. So for example, on toxin removal effect of MicroZeoGen, removing mycotoxins, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, nitrosamines, dioxins, heavy metals, and ammonia, you see at the bottom of this slide all these scientific published papers that proves these claims. Because we said at the previous presentation that we claim only what we can prove, and this is proved. So, absorption of microorganisms, for example, bacteria, viral particles, bacterial toxins. So this is when enhanced MicroZeoGen acts. Also, immune stimulation. So, MicroZeoGen passes through the GALT, which induces increased macrophage and dendritic cells response, so superoxide production, and CD4 and CD8 proliferation. So MicroZeoGen is also very, very high, very, very potent antioxidant. So what are the immunomodulatory effects? Micronized clinoptilolite cause local reaction at the place of application that attract peritoneal macrophages. So it similarly acts in the way after per-os administration, effective intestinal lymphocytes and producing non-specific immune response. For veterinarians, you know that we have in our small intestine, we have pair plates that are responsible for immune response. And when we have these micronized zeolites, it is very important to be micronized, that the particle size should be smaller than this opening on the dome of the pairs plate, so it can drop in, like let's say a ball on the pool table, yeah? You just drop in the hole. And then it provokes B cell and T cell to increase the number of B and T cells. So this is how it works as well. So nanoparticles comes into the pairs plate, and they're captured by antigen promoting cells, like M cell, or even with dendritic cells, and then they're migrating to the mesenteric lymph nodes when we have also increased number of T and B cells. So for the immune response. And this is actually how it works as a new adjuvant in the anti-tumor therapy. So it doesn't treat the tumor, but it helps body to fight against the tumor and other diseases. Infection, non-infection, so we need non-specific immune response. So MicroZeoGen is also promoting antioxidative enzymes like SOD, catalase, peroxidase, and then therefore reduce oxidation, peroxidation, and lipid peroxidation. And having that in a pet food is a great, great benefit. Improve skin healing. So MicroZeoGen promotes faster skin injury repair through absorption of exudate. This is for a topic use. Absorption of inflammatory cytokines. If you use it per os, it distributes the bioavailable silicon, and bioavailable silicon is very, very important for collagen synthesis. We will talk about this in the next presentation. And also, it activates the skin dendritic cells, and it has very strong hemostatic activity. That's why, because of this hemostatic activity, that's why the NATO forces are using zeolites products. It's called QuickClot, to put it on the injured soldiers when they're injured by bullet or when they have strong bleedings. So it stops bleedings 10 times faster than the products they use it so far. Improve bone recovery. As I said, the silicon part of the aluminum silicate micronized zeolite clinoptilolite, MicroZeoGen, promotes osteoblast differentiation, inhibition of osteoclast, distribution of bioavailable silicon for collagen synthesis, and better nutrient availability and better food conversion. For hair, shiny hair and fur, faster growth through the silicon supplementation. So what are the overall benefits of MicroZeoGen in the pet food? They are absorption of pathogenic bacteria and their toxins. They have antiviral properties, mycotoxin absorbent and removal, stimulation of immune system, which is very important, promotion of antioxidant enzymes in the body, improve skin healing topically and per os, improve bone recovery by osteoblast differentiation and osteoclast decrease, positive impact on the hair, and positive impact on the joint lubrication. Now, this is the second part of the presentation, and I tried to present you what is MicroZeoGen and why is it innovative, and why this is the only product so far in the world that has MicroZeoGen as an ingredient in the ingredient list, and all the benefits of MicroZeoGen. So now, I'm sure that you have questions, so please type it. Don't be shy. Nobody knows from who the question is coming from. So I will be happy to answer your questions. Okay, the question is how to measure the rate of peat deposit in the kidney after years of use. If we have data burden of the kidneys, long use, dry food. So I don't know what data do you have, but and if you are referring on the high protein content of the food, please, if you can specify that. So if you use the complete and balanced food for the dogs, then and if you are using the high quality protein, which means the protein that have less waste, ammonia waste, so there is no problem to feed the dog with this kind of food. If you are asking about the deposit of silicone, which is coming from MicroZeoGen, so if you are using the proper amounts of this in the food, then there is no danger. So if this is a question, if I understood it right. So what are you saying about barf food? This is now very popular in Sweden. Yes, the barf is very popular. I don't know if barf is complete and balanced food, and everybody wants to treat and feed their dogs like wild animals. But as you already know, there are more than 300 breeds of dogs, from Chihuahua to Great Dane or Irish Wolf dog. So each of them had to be fed specific. So I'm not sure that barf food fits the all. Also, not all pet food fits the all needs of the dog. So you have to choose if the dog is active, if the dog is not active. Is it a small breed? Is it a large breed? So I always say, for example, if you leave the dog outside, Chihuahua, Poodle, if they would have to eat the food they would die in 3 weeks or 2 weeks, because they will never hunt. They're not hunting dogs. So barf, okay, if there is no problem, it's fine. But if there is a problem, then yeah, I don't know. There are good experience of barf for sure, but there are also good experience of the dry pet food, complete and balanced super premium products. So there will be customers for both, and there will be pros and contras for both types of feeding.